Wings experience. Wings. Fly with me. Won't you?
Welcome to the tutorial. So, if you're wondering why your screen probably looks super stupid, it's because I have an ultra-wide monitor, something you don't have. And so that's why. Normally I edit on 2 monitors, but for the for that tutorial, I have to edit on 1 because I have to record. I don't know if I'm gonna have the webcam on this whole tutorial because I don't really like it. Anyways, here's how to edit this. So first, you need the song, and then you need the clip. And so you open the song peak view, set a marker on the boom boom, drag the best clip you've ever seen of me Spider-Maning, thunder pumping an AI. Okay, I didn't realize it was this long. Right on to the headshot, like that. Yeah, you rising, yeah, you. Perfect. Okay, then you mute the clip because it sounds dumb. Okay, now that you've done that, apply your velocity. I'm going to use a preset because I'm lazy. So I'm going to apply this Twixer velocity. Open this up. Drag the keyframes into place. View this. Yeah, you rising, yeah, you. Pretty solid. It's only 10 frames though, which is not long enough. We need to like pretty much double that if we want this to look right. So we're gonna take all of these, and actually we have to keep this one in this place. Yeah, you rising, yeah, you falling, yeah, you. I'm gonna just do something like this for now. Obviously, apply your own velocity to the way that you like it. Yeah, you rising, yeah, you falling. I'm gonna go with that. That looks good. So here's my velocity. I think that looks good. Yeah, you rising, yeah, you fall. It's about, give or take, 20 frames of slow motion. So what I'm going to do is take the frame that this actually happens on. Actually, that's kind of clean velocity. I don't know what's happening here, but we don't worry about it. So I'm going to take the part that I want. So about here. And actually we'll go like there. And then we'll go on shot, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. And do that. And that gives us a 20 frame clip exactly. Then we're going to pre-compose it. I'm just going to name it to be roto with all the attributes. Then you're going to need your layer tab already open, so I'm just gonna click on the song twice, then hit Alt on your keyboard and double click it. This is like the hardest thing to do for some reason. You just have to figure out how to get the pre-comp open in your layer tab. That's like one of the hardest things of this tutorial, because it's actually a lot harder than you think, because it doesn't work like it should most of the time. Set your quality to full, back in the composition tab. There's our great clip. Now we're gonna pull out our rotor brush, Alt W, or just click this. I don't know why neither of those worked the first time. And we are just going to rotor brush
the character.
Make sure everything's on 30 FPS, or else it does not work. Once you have everything fixed and like functioning as it should, you should be left with the clip, a little clip to be rotoed that is roughly 20 FPS. Then we can start the rotor brush. So this doesn't have to be perfect, but obviously don't like make it absolutely terrible, because it kind of does matter. Grayson, your music is hecka loud. I said your music is hecka loud. I can hear it through your headphones into mine, and I have them on. It's never gone that well for me before. That's like the best rotor brush I've ever done. Okay, I'm gonna freeze that rotor brush. Okay, rotor brush is frozen. Now we can go out into here, and then I'm just gonna duplicate this, go back here, and delete the rotor brush on this one. So now if I solo the rotor brush layer, bro, that is the best rotor brush I've ever gotten. It's also like no movement though. Okay, I just got the best rotor brush of my life. It just did a good job the first time. That almost never happens, but to be fair, there isn't a lot of movement, and the background has a lot of contrast. Which, speaking of background and stuff, I'll leave the crap I use in the description, because I'm nice like that. just like I left my project file from a previous video. If you want to check that out, please do, go ahead. Now we have our video that is roto-brushed, or the character that's roto-brushed during the build-up. So what we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna create the text part. So create a new composition, 30 FPS. Actually, I'm gonna name this target part, but make sure to spell it wrong, like me. Then inside of that comp, we're gonna just make it 20 FPS. I don't know why I didn't change that. 20 frames long is what I mean by that. Like this. I have a 20 frame long comp. What we're gonna do is take our text tool out and see how big the headshot was. That's an important part. I think it was for 122. In this case, the text is gold because it's just a headshot, it wasn't a shield crack. In my video that I did this on, it was a shield crack, so I did it blue. So I'm gonna keep to that theme, and I'm gonna do it gold or yellow. Go back into here. I'm gonna type in 122, wrong font. I'm gonna switch it to the Fortnite font, Burbank, like this. That's a little close. Probably, yeah, I was gonna say like 50. We'll go 55. 55. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna take this, move it. I think 200 was what I found was really good. I'm gonna take this. What I'm gonna do is gonna be really dumb. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Go back into this. Hit color. Hit this tool. Switch back, and then just grab that color. It's kind of looking bland though, so I might just turn it up a little bit. Then add a stroke of black and go like 3 pixels for the stroke. Switch those around. And then lose your color. Can I clip it? Okay, hold on, let me get the headshot color again. Now, if I toggle that, we've got a thing that is not solid enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go like actually 10 on that. That looks relatively okay. Now, I forgot to do this. Import the target emoji. I'll leave that below, obviously. That was actually kind of the correct height. I'm just gonna try and get this like basically lined up as much as I can. Both of these, just move them over, and I'm going to center them like that. Copy this and move it over here like so, and I'm gonna try and see. So it's like 3 pixels. Now what I'm gonna do is actually copy all of this, move it over just like this, because then I can keep that in line like this. Life hack, I know. And I'm gonna say that that is good enough. So I'm gonna select the text layer on top, delete it. I'm just gonna recenter it to the composition. And now I can just keep doing that. Copy all of this again, move it over like so. Say that looks good, delete this one. We're gonna get rid of that text on the end. And that's actually, I just realized to have it, I think, targets on each end. There we go. Now we've got this little composition done. We're gonna come out of here into here, grab our little thing, drag it on top, go to the effects and presets and add a cylinder, CC cylinder like this. And then if we go over it, now we have this little text thing. Now I'm gonna try using the rotation, try and get it to semi line up with the character. So like something like that. We'll go something like that. Scale it down, and I'm just gonna kind of move it into place. And I'm gonna scale it up. Now, what I'm gonna do is take at the beginning, set a rotation keyframe for Y, and I think I'm gonna go, I want it to rotate this way, 45. Here's what we have. We have our roto brush, the background layer, and then our cylinder text, just like that. Now we've got that in place. Okay, so the character does not move that much in this, but just for the tutorial sake, because like my other one, it did move a lot, I'll do it anyways. I'm going to open up this again in the layer. I'm going to go in here, create a new null object, trim it down to the size of this. Then just remember what layer it is. It's layer 4. So now that we are inside here, we can open our tracker panel. We are going to click track motion. We're just going to track the position. That's all we need. We're going to take this and we're just going to find something. We're going to actually make it bigger because it's very tiny right now. We're just going to take this. We're just going to track something in the character that kind of has like some definition. Obviously we want it to be around the waist. So like I think something that has contrast. Maybe I might just be able to track this. We'll try that. we want these boxes to do as much as possible, but be as small as possible. So like, I'm just gonna do that. That's really wonky. And then keep that one pretty small. It's not gonna move much, so I'm not too worried. But like, you might have to make the box bigger depending on how much your rotoscope moves. Then we can just go forward and see. Perfect. That did a great job the first time. I've been so lucky today. Gonna hit edit target, hit layer, change it to null 4, hit OK. Just gonna hit apply. Just like that, X and Y. Then now in our null, we have this little tracker thing. What we're gonna do is take our target part, make sure that the parent and link is on. Just by do that, just do this, columns, toggle parent and link, grab the little rubber band thingy, parent it to null 1. So now this will move with our character. It's very slight because you can't really tell because the character doesn't actually move much. But now this will move along with the character, how it moves. Now what I'm going to do is take our, I'm just going to drag this above, just keep it a little more organized. This, I'm going to duplicate it, drag one of them under the roto brush. I'm just going to temporarily just do that, name this one roto, and then click render. I'm going to go outside, and then on the one above it, render inside. And then actually I did that backwards. Render this one outside and then this one inside. Now it'll spin around the character. Magic. It's crazy. Now just like that, it'll spin around the character in like 3D space, and this is what we have to do.
Yeah, you rising, yeah, you rising, yeah, you.
So the basics are there. Now you can kind of do whatever. The main part of this is that the roto brush has a saber to it. So let me go remember how to do that. Okay, if I remember how to do this right, you're gonna take your roto brush layer, whoops, and then first clone it, then layer and hit auto trace, and then this screen will pop up, and I think we're good to just do that. Then it will auto trace. I swear I didn't save it. Are we still recording? We are. Okay, now I have to refix all of this. Shut up, I'm trying to do something. We're going to try an auto trace again. So I'm going to duplicate this, save it, and then I'm going to open it up in the layer. I really don't want it to crash again. Layer, auto trace. Let me make sure I have these settings right. Okay, set your work area, duh, using B and N, layer, auto trace, go. Okay, now we have a mask. We're gonna hit M to open the masks, and we can delete all of the ones except for the first one, because the first one is the animated outline, and that is what we're going to apply the saber to. We are going to create a new solid, make it whatever color. I'm just gonna keep it black to keep it simple. Grab in here, go ahead and hit click saber and add it to the roto 2. Hit customize core, layer masks, and then boom, just like that. Now we have this. So then what we're gonna do is we're going to adjust the thing because it looks really not very good. I'm gonna go 35, that looks good. Turn the spread up, bias down, I think. No, bias up, and the core size down. We'll go 2 on the core size, then we'll adjust these, bring them up, try and deselect the mask. And I think that looks pretty good. We're just gonna leave it blue because that's what is default. And then now this is what we have.
Yeah, you rising, yeah.
Great. Now we've got the bulk of this done. What we're gonna do is go into the background layer. Then I'm gonna grab it. I'm going to add a hue, saturation, and brightness. Just do that because it's easy. And then I'm just going to change the saturation all the way down to 0. Just like that. And I don't really like that the headshot is orange or yellow, even though it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna change it. Future me here, editing the video. I realized that, like, just barely, I think in the video is when I changed the headshot to blue because the saber was blue. I was stupid and I didn't realize that you can literally just change the that you can change the saber color. I don't know why that like never occurred to me. So here's what that looks like if you change the saber color. I think it looks a lot better. I wish I thought of that because it's not a shield crack headshot. It's just a normal headshot, and this looks a lot better. So here is what that looks like. It looks a lot better. Makes a lot more sense to me to have it yellow because the text is yellow and then the headshot is yellow. Just throwing that one out there. Would recommend doing that instead of changing it to blue like I did. Okay.
Yeah, you rise.
Now, obviously, there's a massive cut. We don't want that. So, first thing we're going to do to get rid of that is actually add an adjustment layer. Cut it. I'm just going to use another preset for my impact because I can. So do this, and then apply impact. It's just one of Joshy's.
Yeah, you rising. Yeah, you fall.
Great. Obviously, for this part, it just cuts. So what we're going to do is take the original clip and just drag it up above everything, just like that. Or actually, we can just drag it above here. And I'm going to extend it 4 frames. We'll call that good. Go back to the beginning. Open the opacity like this, bring it to the end, and set it to 0. And that will make everything nicely faded. I'm gonna go 1 more frame actually, just like that.
Yeah, you rising.
See? That looks a lot better if you ask me. Just like that. Now the last thing that I'm gonna do is actually, first, I want to say that I just realized that I actually did not make it black and white in the original montage that I did this in, but I am right now because I think it looks better in this case. You do you. That's all. That's what editing is all about, is just you do you. Now that we have that, the last thing to do is just add pan and crop. So I'm just going to create another adjustment layer, cut it here, and then I'm going to add blur mode curves. Just like this. I'm gonna go here, set the Z distance, all of that crap, and we'll go 8 frames in. And then I'm gonna scale the Z distance up, scale the rotation up, kind of that, Shift X. I kind of just want the character in the center. Something like that. See? We're gonna keep it there, and in the last 5 frames, re-keyframe all of these, and set their values back to normal. Easy ease them, hit F9 or right click them, right? I don't remember how to do this. Right click them, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Open the graph editor. I'm just gonna use the speed graph because I can, and I'm just gonna create a graph like this on both sides. And now let's see how that looks.
Yeah, you rising. Yeah, you.
Looks terrible in this first part.
Yeah, you rising. Yeah, you.
Play with it. That is basically it, I think. It's not very hard. It looks pretty good, if you ask me. And yeah, that's really all that it takes at the end of the day. Obviously, you'd like add a sound effect. I'm not going to. And then here's what we have done.
Rising. Yeah, you rising. Yeah, you falling. Yeah, you polished. Yeah, you flawless. Need your space, so beg your pardon. I did the race, my love. I saw it. I felt a weakness and I.
Okay, wait, I can't actually talk like that, because... Grayson, family friendly.